In the quiet little town of Willow Creek, where everyone greeted each other by name and the air always carried the scent of freshly baked bread and blooming flowers, lived a young woman named Emily Johnson. She was well known for two things: her radiant smile and her quirky yet endearing obsession with bananas. Since childhood, Emily had loved bananas more than anything. While other kids traded candies and chocolate bars, she proudly munched on her favorite fruit. "Bananas make you strong," she'd tell her friends in kindergarten, flexing her tiny arms like a superhero. Now, at 26, Emily still began every morning with a banana smoothie. Her kitchen reflected her love for the fruit. Banana-patterned towels hung neatly by the stove, a banana-shaped magnet brightened her fridge, and a yellow ceramic fruit bowl, curved like a banana boat, sat proudly on her counter. Her friends often teased her for it, but they adored her sunny personality. Emily worked at a cozy organic grocery store called the Green Basket, nestled in the heart of downtown Willow Creek. The shop was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Parker, a warm-hearted couple who had been running it for nearly 3 decades. They adored Emily like a daughter, not just for her hard work, but for the way she treated every customer like family. Morning sunshine. Mr. Parker greeted her cheerfully one Monday as she stepped inside, her hair catching the morning light. "Morning, Mr. Parker. Did we get the new shipment of bananas today?" she asked eagerly. He chuckled, shaking his head in amusement. "You bet we did. Fresh from the farms of Southern California. Your favorites, right?" Emily's eyes sparkled with excitement. "You know me too well." She immediately began unpacking the boxes, carefully inspecting each bunch for the perfect shade of yellow. Emily could tell where bananas came from just by their color and texture, and customers admired how much care she put into her work. That afternoon, as the sun dipped lower over the quiet town, a young man stepped into the store. He was new in Willow Creek, tall with sandy blonde hair and kind, curious eyes. His name was Daniel Harris. Daniel Harris had recently moved from Chicago to Willow Creek after leaving behind his demanding corporate job. He was searching for peace, a slower, gentler rhythm of life far away from the chaos of the city. Emily was arranging fruit at the display when Daniel approached her counter for the first time. "Hi there," he said shyly, holding a bunch of bananas. "Do you know if these are good for making bread?" Emily's eyes lit up instantly. "Banana bread? That's my favorite recipe. You'll want them ripe, but not too soft. These ones right here are perfect." Daniel laughed softly. "You sound like an expert." "I kind of am," Emily replied with a playful grin. "Bananas are my favorite thing in the world." From that simple exchange, something clicked between them. Over the following weeks, Daniel became a familiar face at the Green Basket. Sometimes he stopped by to buy fruit, and sometimes it was clear, just to talk to Emily. They shared easy conversations and plenty of laughter, often trading corny banana jokes. "I'm bananas for this town," Emily once quipped, making Daniel laugh until tears filled his eyes. One afternoon, Daniel invited her to the Willow Creek Farmers Festival, a lively annual event filled with local food stalls, handmade crafts, and fun contests. Emily hesitated at first. She wasn't fond of big crowds, but Daniel's enthusiasm was contagious, and she soon agreed to go. The festival was bursting with life. Children ran around with cotton candy, musicians strummed guitars beneath the old oak trees, and the scent of baked goods floated through the air. Emily and Daniel visited every fruit stand, sampling apples, berries, and of course bananas. Then, they spotted a large sign that made Emily gasp. "Banana Bread Bake-Off, $500 prize." "Oh my gosh, we have to enter," she exclaimed. Daniel grinned. "You sure about that?" "Absolutely. My grandma taught me her secret recipe. We'll win this for sure." The next day, the two spent hours in Emily's cozy little kitchen preparing for the contest. She mashed ripe bananas while Daniel carefully mixed the flour and sugar. The warm, sweet aroma filled the air as they laughed through every spill and silly mistake. When they finally pulled their loaf from the oven, it was golden, soft, and smelled absolutely heavenly. The next morning, Emily and Daniel stood before the judges with their freshly baked banana bread. Emily's heart raced as she watched the first judge take a bite, her fingers nervously twisting the hem of her apron. The silence felt endless, until the head judge finally smiled and said, "This is the best banana bread I've ever tasted." Emily let out a joyful squeal and threw her arms around Daniel. They had won the grand prize, but what truly filled her heart wasn't the money. It was the realization that her simple love for bananas had blossomed into something far more meaningful. Word quickly spread through Willow Creek about Emily's award-winning banana bread. Soon, people were lining up outside the green basket just to get a slice. Mr. and Mrs. Parker were overjoyed and even hung a new sign by the entrance. Emily's famous banana bread, fresh every day. Every morning, Daniel came by to help Emily bake before heading to work. Together, they refined their recipe, laughing over tiny mishaps and sharing quiet moments that made their friendship grow stronger. One evening, as they wiped down the counters after closing, Daniel turned to her with a soft smile. "You know, moving here was the best decision I ever made," Emily grinned teasingly. "Because it's such a peaceful town?" He shook his head. "Because I met someone who reminded me that life's sweetest things are often the simplest, like a good banana bread and good company." Emily's cheeks flushed, but she smiled warmly. "I'm glad you like bananas too," she said softly. Years later, Emily and Daniel opened their own bakery, lovingly named Banana Haven. It became the heart of Willow Creek, a place filled with warmth, laughter, and the comforting scent of fresh banana bread drifting down the street each morning. Children grew up visiting the shop, listening to stories about how Emily once entered a festival and changed her life with a single loaf of banana bread. And whenever someone asked her why she loved bananas so much, Emily would smile and say, "Because they remind me that small things can lead to big happiness." The town grew, times changed, but one thing never did: Emily's bright smile and the golden bunch of bananas that always sat proudly on the counter of Banana Haven.